Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our MAE Live info session this afternoon. My name is Jenny, and I'm from the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering. In short, we call ourselves School of MAE. Now, before we proceed to the program for this afternoon, may I invite you to view a video of our school.
The largest industry by far in Singapore is the manufacturing sector. This contributes to 20-25% of the national annual GDP. The key industry clusters in Singapore manufacturing includes electronics, chemicals, biomedicals, logistics and transport engineering.
As the first school offering engineering courses since 1954, the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering has continued to be at the forefront of engineering education. Our courses include Diploma in Aeronautical Engineering, Diploma in Mechanical Engineering, Diploma in Mechatronics and Robotics, and the Common Engineering programs. With our state-of-the-art facilities like the Advanced Manufacturing Center, Aero Hub, and our committed, nurturing, and experienced lecturers, we aim to provide our learners with an exciting journey of discovery and development of their full potential to be self-directed learners and professional engineers. We are also proud that over the years, our students have in return provide real authentic solutions to the industry.
We learn both theory here and then practical application. So all these actually allow us to build up a strong foundation. For those with diploma, you start off as a technician, aircraft technician. There are opportunities with further training and experience to move up the corporate ladder to become licensed aircraft engineer, quality engineer, planning engineer, and even move into management position. We learn about aircraft inspection, we learn about detection of corrosion, and also build the aircraft system so that we can understand the basics of aircraft system, how they work, and the inspection technique, the kind of criteria that we should apply. And all these kind of help you and build up to be a licensed aircraft engineer eventually.
All right, I hope that video gives you a glimpse of what we at the School of MAE has, the facilities and what our students do. For the info session this afternoon, our speakers will be sharing on prospects of engineering in Singapore, the courses our school offers, the careers and the further study options for our students, and also a sharing session by one of our students on her experience and journey in MAE. If at any point in time you have questions, please submit them through Pigeonhole, www.pigeonhole.at, and the passcode is SPOH21. Our speakers will be very pleased to address your concerns at the end of the session. You may want to take this time to send your questions. All right, so without further ado, I will now invite our director, Dr. Chong Chi Wei, to share on the topic Prospects of Engineering in Singapore. Dr. Chong?
Thank you. Thanks, Jenny. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure you're very familiar with an online portal that is shown on your screen right now. You probably have gone through it during the circuit breaker as part of your home-based learning. The conversion of the hard copy textbook, the physical classroom, to the online learning platform is a process of digitalization. In fact, the process of digitalization is a process that the whole Singapore and the economy is going through right now. It happens not just in the schools, the offices, and the factories. These are typical factories in the olden days. The parts are fabricated manually, transported manually. The environment is definitely not as comfortable. is rust, is noisy, and is definitely not air conditioned. Now back to the present. This is a factory that has been going through a digitalization process. The environment is a lot more neater, cleaner, is air conditioner. In fact, the next part of the transformation for the factories and for the economy in Singapore and the whole world is to make the factories and our economy a lot more smarter and a lot more intelligent. Now, this is a process that actually what we have been doing in the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering, that we deploy the latest technology, the artificial intelligence, data analytics, autonomous mobile robots to be embedded and provide as a real learning environment for our students. Our state-of-the-art facilities, like the Aero Hub, the equipments are of industry standards, and we engage our industry partners to provide a real, authentic learning to our students. Now, if you look at the website from the EDB, the advanced manufacturing is going to be the key pillar for the Singapore economy for now and the futures. If you are interested in engineering education, if you look at the recent report published by MIT in 2018, where they mentioned about the worldwide leaders in engineering educations, NUS came in number 8 in the spot. And in fact, we are very honored that Singapore Poly, Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering, and our SP Engineering are mentioned in the list as well. And we are slightly fall short of the top 10 list. So, if you are interested in engineering educations, look no further. Singapore Poly, Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering will provide you with excellent opportunities in terms of the real authentic learning and the wonderful learning experience. Next, I would like to call upon my colleague, Mr. So Kim Fai, where he will elaborate more about the courses that we have to offer and the learning experience that our students will go through for their 3-year studies in Singapore Poly, Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering. Mr. So, please.
Thank you, Dr. Chong. Hi, welcome all of you to our virtual open house. I'm pleased to meet all of you virtually, literally. So, my name is Kim Fai, and I'm going to share with you how we conduct our curriculum so they can acquire some of the skill set and the knowledge to prepare you for the exciting career as mentioned by Dr. Chong. The domain of mechanical is evolving, so it's very exciting for all of us, and I'm sure you will be happy to journey with us in this exciting journey. So in MAE, we are offering 3 diplomas and 1 common engineering program. Now, have you think about the prospect of studying engineering? And I hope that my presentation will unfold some of the solutions that you have in mind. So, and I hope you can participate actively in our Q&A session to know more about it. At this point in time, let me walk you through some of our diplomas. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about the Diploma in Mechanical Engineering, or known as DME. Now, DME is our first engineering diploma offered in Singapore. I'm very proud of that. So it's a first full-time and a de facto first choice diploma course in mechanical engineering. So DME has a long history all the way back in 1958. So because of the long history, it has a proven record to adapt very well in terms of industry transformation, as well as to provide our graduate with a wide variety of career. Now, some interesting figures from last year. Our intake is 200, and the range for the aggregate score for JAE English language, relevant 2 subject, the best 2 subject, or we call the ELR to B2, ranges from 7 to 16. Now, I must say that the figures will change from time to time. So that was the figure last year. So what do you study in DME? As you can see from the infograph, we have 3 layers. The first layer is concerning some of the topics you learn in first year. As you can see, for first year, regardless of which diploma you are in, within the School of MAE, we are offering you with a broad-based engineering which are foundational. These foundational subjects are very important to prepare you for the second and third year. Now, from the red boxes, you can see from second year onwards, we will start to have electives. Now, the purpose of electives is to provide students a self-directed way to chart your own path in your learning. So electives can be school-based elective to deepening your engineering knowledge, and could also be a poly-wide elective for your furthering and broadening of various topics and knowledge. Now, one of the features in the DME curriculum is to give you a chance to select specialization. So all in all, we have 6 specializations within the DME module, from the ever-growing importance of biomedical to the evergreen industry of the facility management, as well as rapid transit technology, and the ever-exciting field of automation and precision engineering because of the advanced manufacturing technology. And of course, the ever-exciting and interesting field on engineering design and simulation. So these are the specialization we hope our students can select for a deepening training and understanding on the various mechanical domain. So each specialization has 3 modules, except for biomedical comprises of 6 modules. So beside the specialization, there will be a what we call the capstone program in the final year. Now, capstone program consists of 1 whole semester, 22 weeks, and students have a choice to choose internship, 22 weeks internship, or the industry project in campus. So these are some of the projects that our students have done. So they provide good solutions for the industry, and they are well received and commendable for their effort. Some of our FYP students or final year project, they are involved in providing solutions for the community, such as the urban farming, as well as design some rehabilitative projects for the community. We also have students that smashed the Guinness World Record for the fastest moving ping pong balls. Now, all these projects may sound very interesting, but behind this project are very important application of science and engineering. So in terms of career opportunity, as mentioned before, DME provides students with a wide variety of career opportunities in many fields, even beyond the mechanical domain. So for instance, bioengineering, automation, facility management, as well as the precision engineering and manufacturing. Of course, not forgetting the design engineering as well. So as you can see, it kind of matched very well to the design of our specialization model. In terms of further study, our graduates are granted module exemptions and advanced standing in many of the local and overseas universities. In terms of their progression to NTU, our students are invited for direct entry to the second years for their mechanical engineering program. So in that sense, our graduate will have less time will finish off their degree program in lesser time. Now, let me move on to Diploma in Mechatronics and Robotics, or in short, DMRO. Please take note of the acronym. Now, last year, the intake for DMRO is 80, and the aggregate score for the EL R2B2 is from 5 to 11. Now, DMRO has a unique pedagogy in the way we teach the student throughout the 3 years. For the first year, they are involved in the common foundational modules, and we more or less handhold them to understand the wonder of engineering, basically to inspire them to science and engineering. During the second year, they should acquire enough knowledge to integrate them to solve problems. So there are many project-based learning for them to embark on. And during final year, they should be competent and confident to invent and to develop smart product and processes. So this is what we aim and aspire our students to achieve. And the unique pedagogy also based on the intrinsic motivation framework, and the student has a lot of motivation during the 3 years of study. Now, one of the unique features of DMRO course is that they were equipped with skills from mechanical domain, electronic domain, as well as programming. One of the features also for their learning experience in DMRO is a dedicated learning space for them. So this is a space for them to interact with the lecturers and various specialists for their projects and also practical works. In terms of industry collaboration, so many of the final year project, they help to provide solutions for various companies, and so far we have been receiving good feedback from the industry collaborators. In terms of career opportunity, I would say that it's quite the same as the DME as I mentioned before, but they certainly have some advantage as far as in the robotic area, the automation sectors, as well as system development. Of course, not forgetting, they should be very capable of developing smart product and processes. Further study, I think all our students in the mechanical school, they are able to gain exemptions from local and overseas university, as what I've mentioned earlier on, as far as a good advanced standing in the university. In particular, in the NTU Mechanical Engineering program, they are invited for direct entry into second year. Now, let me talk about the Diploma in Aeronautical Engineering. Just like the DME, which is the first engineering course in Singapore, the DARE, we call it in short, the Diploma in Aeronautical Engineering, is also the first aeronautical courses provided by a diploma, by a Polytechnic, sorry. So last year the intake was 195, and the aggregate score for the JAE English language R2B2 ranges from 4 to 14. So this diploma was launched in 2002, the first aeronautical course offered by Polytechnic in Singapore. Now let's take a look at what you'll be studying in the 3 years in the DARE course. First year, as mentioned before, is common, is foundational, is to prepare you for the subsequent second and third year. From second year onwards, you will focus on aircraft-related modules. And of course, the elective will start to kick in from second year onwards. Now, one of the important features in the DARE or DARE course is the deep industry collaboration in our curriculum. So especially in areas such as unmanned aerial vehicle, composite repair, non-destructive testing, and the aircraft maintenance. Another very unique and important features of the DARE course is the elective. We have grouped the elective into tracks. So each track allows students to select their area of focus within the aeronautical field. So we have aero design and manufacturing tracks. We also have the aero engineering focusing on maintenance, as well as a broadening focus on aviation management. So again, students have a chance to design their own learning path. And of course, the capstone project, students either select, go for internship, which we partner with many of the major aerospace companies such as SIA, engineering company, ST, engineering aerospace, Pratt & Whitney, etc. So beside internship, students are allowed to select industrial final year projects. So these are some of the projects that students have done. So they basically focus more on the UAV design or unmanned aerial vehicle, as well as the designing of some airport system. And in their course, just like DMRO, they also have a dedicated learning space. So we call it the Aero Hub. So this Aero Hub is a state-of-the-art facilities that consists of 4 major aircraft. And we use this aircraft as one of the learning tools to help students to have an authentic learning experience. And this Aero Hub is a space for deep collaboration with industry as well. In terms of career, the aero student will find employment as a design engineers, maintenance, repair, overhaul of engines, component repair, and licensed aircraft engineers. Some of our graduates also work as a military expert in the Air Force. Beyond this aircraft domain, our graduates from their course would also find employment in other mechanical domain as well. Now, it is important for you to realize that whether is it in DME, DMRO, or DARE, basically they are all mechanical students, but we teach them in different contexts so as to give them some versatility and the relevancy and also the mastery of relevant skills. Further study, I think at this point in time, you will realize that it's the same for all our diploma students within the School of MAE. But I just want to highlight one point. For the NTU program, for the mechanical engineering, as well as the aerospace engineering program, our students are invited for direct entry into the second years. As you know, due to COVID-19, due to the closure of the border and then the travel restrictions, that has greatly impacted on the aerospace industry and air transport. However, you have to understand that these are very important areas that will impact on Singapore economy. So hence, the Singapore government is trying very hard to revive air travel again and to maintain Singapore as a hub in aerospace. So if you are interested in this aerospace program, you should gain enough knowledge at this point in time and pick up emerging skills so that you can position yourself in time to come when you graduate in 3 years' time for this aerospace industry. Now, last but not least, we have the Common Engineering Program. Now, I can't say enough that for engineering, now let me talk about the intake first. Last year, the intake was 280. The aggregate score ranged from 4 to 16. So now it is important for you to realize that this CEP, so-called CEP course, is meant for students who likes engineering by and large, but somehow not very sure which particular discipline to choose from. Hence, this CEP is for them. So if you have a clear understanding which diploma, which specific discipline you want to choose, then I would advise you against selecting CEP as your first choice. So this program is 1 semester. After 1 semester in the Polytechnic, you are asked to select 7 engineering courses. Now, of these 7 courses, 3 will be from the School of MAE and 4 will be from the School of EEE. Now, I need to emphasize again, so the purpose of CEP is to give you time to understand the various engineering disciplines so that you can make an informed choice. So, do consider, okay, only when you are not very clear. So again, before I begin, I pose a question: what are the prospects of studying engineering? I hope my sharing give you some idea at this point in time. Now, our graduates are also doing very well, as shown in this slide. We do have recent graduates who are able to receive prestigious scholarship. And we also have graduates who venture into business, entrepreneurship, and technopreneurship, such as Yiming, our aeronautical student, who went on to study engineering in Imperial College. And after that, he found a company that provides blockchain ecosystem services to other companies. And in fact, he was featured in the Forbes under 30 Asia list of young entrepreneurs. We are indeed very proud of him. So just to sum up what I've said so far, we aspire to give you the versatility, the relevancy of our curriculum, as well as the mastery of skills as you journey together with us. So why do you choose MAE? Basically, to acquire this skill. We offer you multi-pathway within curriculum, and there's a wide range of further study and career options for you at the end of 3 years in Polytechnic. Now, aside from the academic studies, we encourage students to be more holistic in their stay in SP. So we always encourage students to be involved in enrichment programs such as overseas immersion, overseas internship, to be involved in world skill competition. And our students do very well, achieving a lot of medals in world skill competition. And these skills are well sought after in the industry, and also many other competition opportunities. Now, if you want to know more about the students' learning journey in Poly, the best person whom you should listen to is the student themselves. So here, at this point, I'm going to invite our student leader, Kimberly, to share with you her learning journey, and you will know more about the learning experience in MAE. So, Kimberly.
Thank you, Mr. So. Hi, my name is Kimberly. I'm a Year 3 student from the Diploma in Mechatronics and Robotics, known also as DMRO. So this is my profile. I've entered through the Poly Foundation program, and 6 is actually my aggregate for my N-levels. Yes, I was admitted to SP in the year 2017 on April, and in the Polytechnic Foundation program, I've actually chosen the Common Engineering program because initially I didn't know which engineering I wanted to go. And eventually I've settled with Mechatronics and Robotics because I feel that it's the perfect suit for me. I went on to become the MAE scholar also, and I've been actively participating in the Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering School Club. And currently I'm in my year 3 of studies, and 230 is the number of CCA points I've accumulated throughout my years of study. So I'll talk more about my Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering School Club. So MAEC is actually a school club, an academic school club, which hosts an organized event for the entire school of MAE. And I was actually drawn into this club because I've attended their freshman orientation camp as a camper. And eventually I was interested in their positions because in the standing committee position, I get to try out the different roles such as publicity, student relations, and logistics. Yes. So this has exposed me to a lot of leadership and experiences. I've made a lot of friends along the way. Yeah, and these are the pictures that I've shown up there, which are events we have organized and I've attended as a participant, helper, and a leader. Yeah, because I've no prior leadership experience. And MAE Club has grown me as an individual and also in terms of giving me a lot of exposure. So not only my hard skills was trained under the School of MAE, this CCA has also trained my soft skills. So I learned to make friends with people and organize events with them. And I get to interact a lot with people. So it has really honed both my leadership and my soft skills. Yeah. And now I'm currently the vice president of the school club, and I've actually never seen myself in this position. Yeah, MAE actually has Singapore Polytechnic has a very vibrant school culture, and yeah, this is my EXCO jacket actually. And yes, I would recommend you to join a club. So next would be my advice. My advice for prospective students would be, firstly, time management. Because in Poly, right, no one's gonna tell you to do your work. So you have to have some self-discipline and manage your time well. Plan out your days accordingly and stick to it. Yeah. Second would be, do join a CCA, because I think that CCAs are the fun part in school. There's so many CCAs to choose from, and the student bodies are also there. And just give them a try. You can join many CCAs and I'm sure that there's one that you would like. Because for me, organizing events became my passion, and it became something I've done for the next 3 years of my studies. Then third, don't be afraid to ask questions to your lecturer and your seniors, because they are full of advice, they are full of knowledge and stuff. Just don't be afraid to ask. And next would be patient and endure, because sometimes things can get tough. For me personally, when it comes to organizing events, I will have to create the proposal. And sometimes it's tough because some documents are not ready or top-notch, so we have to keep retrying again and again. And also my studies, yes. Sometimes my studies would get tough. That's when I will have to be patient, endure, and trust the process of studying, yes. And last but not least, have a positive learning attitude, because I'm pretty sure it gets you, yes, it makes you a lot happier and enjoy the process more. Yep, that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening to my sharing. Now I'll be passing my time back to Dr. Chong, who will be doing the closing statement. Dr. Chong, please.
Thank you, Kimberly. Hi, I'm sure you should get very excited about the sharing from Mr. So and Kimberly. We are now going into the Q&A sessions. There's a QR code appear on your screen. Kindly scan this QR code and you may start to type in the questions you might have, and we'll address all those questions during the Q&A sessions. I'll see you shortly.
Welcome back. We hope that you have picked up some useful information from our speakers. For our viewers who are waiting for the O-level results next week, we hope that after this session, you're able to make some informed choices. To viewers who have just tuned in, we are from the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering, or School of MAE. We're now doing our Q&A segment, and we are going through Pigeonhole. All right, that's the first question coming up. What is the difference between aerospace engineering and aeronautical engineering? This is a very common question, right? You see this all the time. Anyone want to try?
Well, I must say that for aerospace, it involved topics such as aircraft and spacecraft. But for aeronautical, basically we are more focusing on the aircraft. So as far as the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical is concerned, we are focusing on the aircraft maintenance, design of component. I hope that will answer your questions.
Are there girls in MAE? I heard it's mostly boys. Of course they are, right, Kimberly? Kimberly is an example here.
I'm a girl in MAE, and actually it's quite
Well done.
increasing, the number of girls in
Yeah.
MAE. Even my club has quite a significant number of girls.
Yep.
Yes.
We do see an increase in number of girls joining engineering nowadays. One question here coming up. Will a student struggle in mechanical engineering if a student is not good in math?
Well, let me answer this one. Maths is definitely going to be a very important foundation and enabler for students to do well in engineering and a lot of the science subjects. Now, I think whether the students are coming to us with a very strong foundation in maths, I think that may not be so critical. The most important one is having the desire and attitude to do well. And we have a lot of bridging maths and a lot of advanced up to the basic mathematics to equip our students and to help the students. So what is really needed is the positive attitude and the desire to do well.
Yeah, Kimberly.
Yes.
You want anything, Kimberly?
Yeah, I agree with Dr. Chong, sorry. Yes, because I personally came into engineering with a desire to study. I knew that I had no prior experience to this. So I came in with a passion only, and this passion has taken me to, yes, where I am today. And I was surprised that I managed to grasp the scholarship, you see. Yeah, it's really about the positive learning attitude.
That's so true. Right? It's all the attitude, passion, right, and discipline, self-discipline. Right, next question we have here. What are the job prospects of a MAE diploma graduate, and what is the starting salary?
Well, I think the diploma graduates in engineering typically, and a lot of all these are available in the public domain. It's typically range around the 2,000, in the mid of 2,000, close to the 3,000 range. Now, I would say actually, do not be too concerned about the starting salary. I recall my first job, my second job, my supervisor always tell me, it is not so much about the starting salary, but looking for the learning opportunity. And the good thing is, you can see, not at the starting point, but many of the graduates from MAE diploma, after the 3 years, the 5 years, many of them did very well and got promoted into the engineers, senior engineers, and many of them also further studies in the universities. So I think at the end, the starting salary is a norm for a lot of the graduate in diploma in engineering. Yeah, so I hope I answer your questions here.
Next one we have, does mechanical and aeronautical engineering need additional mathematics foundation?
Well, let me answer these questions. Now, for those of you who do not have the additional mathematics, we will provide you with the bridging maths so that you can equip yourself with the enough maths foundation to take on some of our engineering courses. But having said that, I think many of you will accept you with a minimum entry requirement or better than that. So I'm sure you have the aptitude to excel and to cope, and if not, do very well if you had a good attitude, as mentioned by Dr. Chong earlier on.
And
so
I would like to add on to this. Sorry, for the maths, right? Additional maths is definitely more advantageous at the beginning because I took it in my N levels. Yes, and then when I came to year one, if you are not equipped with O-level additional maths, they will make you go through a basic maths module first. So that's what differentiates those who have gone through the O-level additional maths and those who have not. So this basic maths creates a foundation also. Yes, it is part of the curriculum.
So in fact, to the point we are so serious about getting our students to be ready and prepare them well, especially when it comes to maths, we have a schools of maths and science. And depends on the level of the competency for the students. There's a wide range of mathematics, modules and subjects, to prepare the student from the basic until the advanced. The advanced are even preparing the students who wish to further studies in the universities. So again, back to the point, the desire and the attitude will decide everything. The rest, you leave it to us.
Yep. Hi, what happens if a student is not able to cope with the modules or is weak in the module?
Well,
Will he or she receive any help, or will they have to self-learn?
well, first of all, I think we will monitor our students very closely, especially during the mid-semester test. So we find that the student would require some help based on his test performance. We will arrange for extra supplementary lesson for him or her. So at the end, at the same time, we also try to engage our student helpers to assist them to cope with some of his academic studies.
I think when it comes to one of the key features for Polytechnic education is about spreading out the assessment, and we have many continual assessment. It is not just one final exam at the end of 100% to decide a pass or fail, a A or B. So with that, it's purposely designed in such a way to address the needs of the students. And from that, I think at the end, even for students who did not do well, we have supplementary lessons arranged for the students. And even I myself sometimes are involved in some of these lessons to coach the students.
Yep.
So-
So we actually, okay. So I think we have time just for this final question. What are the job prospects given we are in the midst of a pandemic and the aeronautical industry is impacted badly?
Yeah. Whoever raised this question, I thank you so much because I think this is not just the students who are putting up these questions. It involved with many people who are involved in this.
Yep.
Now, first of all, the pandemic is temporary. Singapore is still positioned ourselves to be the aerospace hub in the regions. And it is definitely time to bounce back. And for students who choose this, hopefully by the end of your course, the 3 years is sufficient time for the aerospace industry to bounce back. And having said that, I wish to mention again that even for the aeronautical engineering, students have a very strong training in terms of the mechanical and the engineering fundamental training. For that, many of our day students, they may not just very confined to the aerospace industry, they have the very big options and versatility to join other engineering industry as well. And that's exactly why you see for our DARE, which is the aeronautical engineering graduates, many of them ended up who do a further studies in mechanical engineering as well, and many of them ended up in industry outside of the aerospace industry, and they do equally well in their career.
Yep. Our curriculum is actually pretty broad-based, so they are actually it's flexible, broad-based. So our graduates are actually employed in various industries, not just aerospace, even oil, chemical, and even logistics. So there is a lot of opportunities for them. Okay. One more question, one last question. Would it be easy to commit to a sports CCA and the coursework? Maybe this one, we leave it to Kimberly to answer this.
Yeah, I'll take this question. So I think that it depends on the individual actually. That I feel that it's really up to you how you would like to spread out your time. And I think a sports CCA is something that's very fixed. It's like, let's say you have training 3 times a week or 2 times a week, and you have to follow it. But then there are also CCAs that's event-based, so it's not necessarily on fixed days of the week. So SP lets you choose between these 2 kinds of CCAs. And for sports CCAs, yes, you do need some form of discipline. And then I also think that it's good because sports CCAs force you to exercise and balance yourself, both work and leading a healthy lifestyle. And I think it's just really how you train yourself to stick to this routine. Yeah, and you'll be fine. I mean, you won't know if you don't try. Just have a positive attitude and, during tough times, try to tide yourself through. Yes.
Yep, agree. Very good, Kimberly. Yeah, actually, balance of sports and studies actually is time management, managing the time. And also, actually, sports actually helps you to discipline yourself, all right? And also help you to manage your stress as well. We've got students who are actually excellent in sports and also do very well in their studies. and even get scholarships as well. All right, and one more question. Is the DARE course very competitive in terms of academic requirements?
Well, let me answer these questions. All engineering courses are competitive in terms of the academic requirements. And I think that is precisely why engineering education, the training, is so versatile and prepare the students so well, not just for the engineering industry, but for even industry outside of the engineering sector as well. So I would say, in terms of whether it's competitive or not, whether it's tough or not, whether it's easy or not, for any course, you have students who do well, who did not do so well. Again, the deciding factor is still come back to desire, attitude. Once you have this, the rest, you leave it to us. The support and the resources will be there to help you do well.
Yep. In any course, it's basically, like we say, discipline, independent learning as well. So you should be able to, the students will be able to manage this pretty well. Oh, Wei Chong 2017. Okay, we have this question here. What makes SP Mechanical Engineering unique? I live rather far away and I'm still considering SP.
Well,
yeah, you go ahead.
Let's put it this way. We are the first institute of higher learning to offer engineering training and courses in Singapore. And we've been doing it year in, year out for more than 60 over years. And in the recent report from MIT, it's also recognized actually in terms of innovations, engineering education. SP are indeed at the frontier. We keep on innovate. We keep on change our methods to adapt such that our students get the best learning experience and being aligned and relevant to what is required from the industry and as well as from the university further studies. Now, where do you stay? It doesn't matter, because for my few years as a director, I've heard students from every single part of Singapore, from the far east all the way until here. In fact, we even have students who live in Johor and have to commute every day. They have to wake up 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and get to SP, and yet they can still do well. So geographical, especially if you live in Singapore, is never an issue.
Yep. Our mechanical engineering course is actually a pioneer. All right, we started in 1958. All right, and yes, agree. I've got students who come all the way from Pasir Ris, from JB, yes, and they're never late, even though they stay so far away.
Okay, yeah. Jenny, let me take this question. Can we be a pilot by joining aeronautical engineering? None of the courses in Singapore really prepare just customized for a student to become a pilot. To become a pilot, there is specific training to be provided by the airline companies. Now, which is why you can see in the pilot, there can be students from business, from any kind of training. Now, what is important is by having a strong foundation in engineering courses, it definitely prepares the students well should they want to become a pilot, because a lot of all these basic trainings and the requirements set up by the airline is actually quite relevant to engineering and technology.
We have one question, very, very useful, good question here. Are year one, semester one modules the same across MAE and EEE, since the common engineering program streams into both of them?
The simple answer, let me take this question. The simple answer is yes, they are the same. So the purpose is for you to experience the various engineering disciplines from EEE to mechanical. So they are the same. And after first semester, you will, based on that experience, choose the 7 engineering courses which I mentioned earlier on.
I think, can I add on?
Yeah.
I'll add on for this because I've been through the program personally. I think that this program is also known as the confused engineer program because you don't know which engineering to go to. I was confused, so I went through this program. Yes. So the module is, yes, same across. And I think that these modules are helpful. And just remember that you should remember to do well for both sides. Yes, even though you're inclined for either one side, when you start learning it, you think that this is my kind of thing. So yes, that helps me realize why I wanted DMRO robotics.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We hope that you find this session very fruitful. Now, if you have any other further questions regarding the courses, do proceed to our breakout session, which is going to happen immediately after this. And our course chairs and our lecturers will be on hand to address your concerns. You can access this breakout session through the URL, which actually the link we sent to you through your email, or we will flash the QR code later on, and you can still access the breakout session there. Now, if you are interested to find out more about the courses from our sister engineering school, the School of EEE, tune into their session tomorrow at 10 a.m. Or if you're interested to find out more about our innovative and interesting projects by our engineering students, do tune in to our SP Engineering Show tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. And once again, thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye.
Bye. And
Bye.
we wish to see you face-to-face in Singapore Poly, hopefully in the new admission year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.